Well, hello there. How's everybody doing? Today's lesson kind of is a little bit out of order from what we've been doing. I needed to color a background for a game that I'm working on, and I decided this would be a good time to go ahead and show you how I do the digital coloring. When I do digital coloring, most of the time it's pen and ink and watercolor. But the technique I'm going to be doing today is called cutting, and it comes in really handy. And the best thing about it is you can do it with a mouse, so you don't need any fancy pens or anything. So let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Now, I've already scanned in my artwork at 300 dots per inch, so I have just the line work. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and I'm going to crop this and make sure the edges are just right. Image, adjustment. Oh, crop. We'll have to go to adjustment. Okay. I'm going to go to my selective colors and make sure that my blacks are super dark. So I'm going to click on color, black. I'm going to bump the black layer up. See how that gets darker? I'm going to click on neutrals. I'm going to bump that up just a little bit. Okay. So now we are ready to start parting this out. So I'm going to select color range. Alright, we're going to click the black area. Okay. I'm going to edit, copy, edit, paste. And now I have one area that is completely black. I'm going to drop a layer underneath that. That's going to be white. Alright, and drop a layer in between my white layer and my pencil layer. I'm going to go ahead and set my pencil layer to multiply. Now what that's going to do, any color that's underneath it, since it's black, it's going to multiply it and make it remain black instead of go lighter. So you won't have like these little dithered edges anywhere in there. Now we're going to separate each little area that's going to be colored different into its own little areas. We're going to make a mat of those so that when we start to color, we can color in just the areas specifically that we want colored instead of everything all at once. And we'll be able to manipulate those as we go. Okay. Now you're going to notice all of these aren't going to be exactly right, but that's going to be okay because we can play with them before we make our mask. At that point they will be right. We're going to work with neon green because it's easy. Now I've got an action called fill up here, and basically what that does, you select an area, you tell it to expand by 2 points and then fill and then deselect. So every time I click this, it's going to do that. And to make that, you just click this little box here, go through the process of whatever you want it to do, and then stop it. Okay, so that's how we're using our actions today. Now you'll notice I missed some parts going through here. Alright, now if you look, that's on its own little layer. So what we're going to do, we're going to go in, zoom in, and we're going to start selecting these individually. I've got a couple of options. I can use the wand if I want to get a whole bunch of larger areas at once, which is what I'm going to start off doing. I can also use the lasso tool and select things as need be as well. And I'm holding down space to move things around. A little hotkey action. Alright, so that's looking pretty good. Got one random bit here. Now I don't want that in there, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my selection tool this time, and I'm going to select the areas that I don't want masked, i.e. green, and I'm just going to tell it to delete that. go. I'm going to go in with my pencil. I'm going to put a little dot here, a little dot here, so that when I select it, it won't bleed into the white area. Alrighty. Good deal. Now you notice there's a lot of little white areas all over the place. And I'm going to show you a trick at the end of all this that's going to get rid of all of them at the same time. It's going to make it a solid black, and it's going to make it look real super crisp. Well, let's look around. We can stand to make a little bit more green. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Ooh, look over here, we went a little too far with it. There we go. Let's go ahead and make most of our horse green as well. There we go. It's not easy being green. Green like so many other things. All right. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and mask this even though it's not quite finished, because I want to show you how it's going to work. And then we're going to go ahead and put our little fast forward friend up so y'all can fast forward. Now we're going to go to our layers. We need to get rid of that black layer. We're going to select color range. I actually have an action that does this quicker, but I want to show you how to do it, okay? So now I'm going to go to layer, okay, and we need to find our layer mask, which is right here, reveal selection. Now what that does is when I click on the left side of that layer, anything that I do is only going to affect that layer mask now. Isn't that cool? Look at that. Okay. So if I want to change a color, I can just go to hue, saturation, and play around with it until I have the color that I like. I can even go through and change the lightness or the darkness, which makes it super easy to manipulate the colors. Now I don't want it to be near green. Let's leave it blue, because our next layer is going to be green again, and then I'll make a mask, and then I'll make another mask, and then I'll make another mask. So here I'm going to click underneath this blue, we're going to make a whole new layer. I'm going to go to green. Alright. And at this point, I'm going to repeat what I just did. I'm going to make another layer, make a mask, then make another layer, make a mask, so on and so forth, until I have the whole thing done. And then I'm going to actually start putting in the colors that I want to put in. Okay. So get ready. Infinite regression. Let's put in our little fast forward buddy. Look at him shoot across like that. Alright, ladies and gents. So we've taken it from line art to separating our layers to putting in some